Hey everybody, it is Dak here from TheEdB0ys. Welcome to episode 18 of the road to PvM God. You're about to watch one of the most beautiful things I've ever pulled off in my life. Maybe not, I amped that up too much. This is just a PB in time, rip, no purple, but I have been working on some solo raids. In fact, raids in general will be the majority of the first half of clips in this video. I wanted to make basically a full raid video, but I really don't pull off enough raids and enough like items to be able to do that unless the video took even longer to get out. I didn't break under 30 minutes in terms of solos yet, but I really have right around 50 solos at this point and been working on them a little more. I definitely need more practice specifically on Ulm. I've gotten a little bit better at it, but there's no doubt I could do a little better. Not all of my raids have been solos, though. We definitely have a lot of team raids in this episode, too. So why don't I throw the intro in there, and we can get to some of the highlights. Let's see it, boys. Let's see that perp. This is a good chance for a purple. This is like 1 in 9, 1 in 10. 77k points. Yeah, a little less than 1 in 10. Come on. Oh, Sativa with the dexterous. Let's go. If I'm not mistaken, that's the first item in your name, right, bud? Fucking dexterous, too. Oh, thank God it was an arcane. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. I did not switch to my VP when I tried. No! What the Every item in my name. It's always an arcane. It's an item, though. A 4-man arcane is still a split. It's just always an arcane, dude. I have not gotten anything in my name but arcane prayer scrolls. It's a little under 2 mil a piece, so we're getting a little bit of money from it. What was the time on that one too? Hey, under 35-minute raid. That was our fastest in terms of this team of 4. Beautiful. Come on. Son of a bitch. 28:47 on that time, though. That is a really solid time on a raid. If we could do each in under 30 minutes, we will be getting a lot more raids than the usual. I was surprisingly close to a full inventory there. Can you imagine if I just got pet with full inventory? Imagine if I was that guy. Instead, I got saltpeter and planks. For real, though. Fellas, 28:47. That's a pretty solid raid. I mean, 1 out of 3 of us have a T-bow, too. Like, that's not bad. Stop with the sphere action, bro. Alright, here we go, fellas. Here we go, 70k points, very doable. Give us an item, Ulminator. Oh! Damn! Ancestral road bottom for the Red Sox fan. You must be having a good day at this point. Fuck yeah, fellas. That's a good split. Whew! Thank God it wasn't in my name, so you know what it would have been? Arcane. Hell yeah. Item life. There we go. There's my 200th raid, KC. No item. Well, we tried our best. Gave a solid effort, fellas. 64k points, 37 minutes. Not bad for first raid. And I got my dragon arrows for my T-bow. Nice. So the first sort of large camping trip we had at raids, the squadron and I pulled out about 100 KC worth of raids. That's where we got the T-bow drop. And now it's 200 KC, so I've basically doubled my raids KC since, not just this episode, but the last just couple episodes. And it's done fairly well for the graphic. Unfortunately, really hasn't added any color. We just have a bunch of parentheses to work with. Not a ton of new drops, but making some decent money off of this, which is really not too bad. And in all honesty, if we're getting any raids drops, even if all of the arcanes are in my name and we're getting some splits and having a good time at raids, I don't have a problem with it. I'll be getting some more uniques eventually. Bound to hit something else in my name. I'd definitely like to color something else in, but I'd also like to see like another mega rare or just less prayer scrolls. What are we at? 7 prayer scrolls and then 4 of any other item. That's really not ridiculously off pace. It's 11 items and 7 out of 11 is really not great. Prayer scrolls. We all good. First kill of the day. Also my new personal best since I had not fought it with the timer yet. Wow, there's a lot of things going on there. Like, how many pets did I just get? Jesus. Thank you very much. Granite dust is one of my favorite things in the world. Granite ring. Oh my god. My first repeat unique from these guys.
You're wrong.
Wow, these are supposed to be, like, pretty rare. These are the 1 in 500, right? I got 2 of them under 500.
Wrong.
Damn. Alright, granite ring number 2.
Wrong.
It is unfortunate how cheap they are, because it is remotely worthless to have, even though it is remotely rare to get. But, I mean, I'll take a unique. I'm a little thrown off guard. I didn't expect to see another granite ring yet. I didn't expect to see 1 granite ring at this point in the account. Grotesque Guardians. Just hit 2... Actually, the last 3 kills have all been remotely clip-worthy. Granite ring. Barely broke my personal best. And then actually set a 204 personal best on that one, which is almost under 2 minutes, as you could probably tell. Not bad, not bad. I didn't have the ring! What the fuck? Oh, I made progress on this and I didn't even know. No way. I have the Tourmaline Core. I only need the pet in the jar now. What the fuck? I completed uniques at like... Oh, the instant's gonna end. Minute and 57-second kill. New personal best. First time under 2 minutes. Not bad at all. I mean, if every kill was under 2 minutes, this wouldn't be terrible. So far, so good on the Grotesque Guardians life. What have you got right on this one, though? Crystal Key and some patats. That'll help for the trip length. 100 granite dust is pretty good too. I love the granite dust. Don't get me wrong. But so far so good for sure on Grotesque Guardian KC. Doing very well on uniques. Just need the pet and the jar at this point. So let's go ahead and get another kill. I don't have a really high KC or a lot of experience with Grotesque yet, but I do really enjoy the fight. And now that they reduced the HP a little bit, it is a lot better to do. It's not great money per hour still, and I'm trying to upgrade some gear still, things like a twisted bow, and I don't have an Avernic Defender yet. I'd really like to get one of those. Making less money per hour is not necessarily ideal, but I do like getting the granite dust from it, and I do have PvM goals in these guys, as you can see, and as I've said a few times, down to just the pet and the jar. If I can get kind of lucky on either of those, it'd be very nice, but we'll just see. We'll let it happen. And next we have the Vedian clip. I did invest in one of these Vigora's chain maces, whatever this thing is. The floppy mace is actually OP as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. This thing cranks. I've always enjoyed the Vedian fight. In fact, about to get 400 KC, so that's not huge KC, but I'm like 20% of the pet drop rate. I've made progress, and now I plan on doing even more because this mace is beautiful. Vedian with the bludgeon's kind of nice. Vedian with the chain mace is just cake. Also having Floods here. Floods does most of my banking for me. He brings extra supplies. He picks off the dwarves sometimes. And I also use Floods for attacking the Hellhounds. There's a couple other safe spots and even like a flinching method you can do with Vedian that I'll probably start playing around with. But this is definitely my favorite spot to do it at the moment. And I don't mind just grinding this out when I can. For the most part, especially with a lot more players being online, even though a lot of those players are new and not PKing, especially on mobile, there's definitely a lot of PKers out here. So I'm just trying to get some Vedian in sometimes late at night. The more drops I can get, the merrier, of course, but this is just a pet hunt right now. So in all reality, if I could pull off the pet and just finish this up, would be really cool. I wouldn't have a problem with doing a lot of Vedian either, though. Vedian's a fun fight. I kind of thought that I'd time this pretty well, and I would be at the end of this kill and be able to brag about my 400 KC during this, but let's just see if we can finish this quick. Give it to me. Bad timing for the loss. What do you got for me? 400 KC and some coinage. Alright. We'll move on from the Vedian life unless I see a drop after this. We'll see. I don't get a ton of Vedian KC. I can only do it a couple hours here and there, but the more the merrier. Oh no, Cerberus. Oh, I try so hard to be a fan of this boss. I really do. I really do. I feel like I enjoy this fight. It's very simple, but you still have to do something. It's not just AFK like Kraken. God, it's all Pegasian crystals. I believe this is still progress on Cerberus. We'll get a look at it in a minute, don't worry. And I guess this is a good way to bring out that, hey, I'm doing some Cerberus. The only thing on the list right now is that I have a pet, and I believe a jar during the series. Again, I'll check in a second. And I've got no crystals during this series. Most of my KC was while getting 99 Slayer, not during Road to PvM God. So I'll go ahead and look. Actually, it'll probably flash on the screen right now what my total crystal count is. But this is my first crystal during the series. Unfortunately, overall, I'm pretty unlucky in the Primordial Crystal, which is just a huge chunk of the money you make here. So that's not not really great, but it could be worse. At least I've seen a primordial crystal. I've still got more pets than crystals at this point. One at like 1325 KC, and I've almost gone that dry since, or at least not quite. But anyways, I do enjoy the Cerb fight, and I'll keep working on it. I'm not a huge fan of getting gypped by some Pegasian crystals, but I won't cry about it either. Anytime I get a Hellhound task, I'll definitely get some Cerberus KC and just hope for the better crystal. And I'll go ahead and flash up the picture of my Slayer progress in PvM God specifically. We're looking at Cerberus, 2 pets, 1 jar, and now Pegasian crystals. So again, I've gotten other crystals, and to be fair, the 2 pets were not during this series, but I don't feel the need that I have to make sure I grind out that you have a funny feeling you would have been followed in this series. So the pets kind of don't count. That's the weird one. The jar I did get in this series, though. And now we're just 3 crystals away from basically finishing up Cerb. In all reality, the Slayer bosses aren't looking too bad. Clearly, Gargoyles aren't on here, but we just saw Gargoyles earlier. Those were not looking too bad either, so solid progress overall. Very happy. I'm actually going to wrap up this episode here, everybody. The beginning of the episode was mostly raids, which is why this took as long as it did. Raids take a while to get a lot of highlights from, but I will be doing a lot of Slayer in the near future, mostly because I want Slayer points to fight the Hydras that are going to be coming out in like 2 months, something like that. But also that gives me a variety of bosses to work on, especially the Slayer bosses, and maybe we can finish up some other graphics. So thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.